Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory here with Will and Tad. We cover all 32 NFL teams, and today we have an NFC East rivalry with the Philadelphia Eagles going into Dallas and defeating the Cowboys 34-6, continuing a very disappointing season for the Cowboys and sort of a season where the Eagles look to redeem themselves from how the end of last season went. So they accomplished that in this game with a thorough domination of the Cowboys. Of course, it did not help the Cowboys that they were without Dak Prescott, and they'll remain that way for the rest of the season. But still, you go out there, you compete against who's out there, and with who was out there, the Eagles dominated the game. Jalen Hurts, 14 of 20, 202 yards, two touchdowns, one interception. He was sacked 5 times, so not the greatest performance from his offensive line. Though the Cowboys, they have a very strong defense, and that needs to be factored into that as well. Obviously with Micah Parsons back, with just the guys the Cowboys have, DeMarvin
Best
and
player on the team,
Overshown.
in my opinion, Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Parson, one of the best defensive players in the league. So it was a tall task for the Eagles' offensive line, and the Cowboys. Part of the time they got the better of them, but still the Eagles' offense did more than enough to move the ball and get the job done, despite the 5 sacks. Jalen Hurts, he also rushed for 2 touchdowns. The tush push back in action, 56 yards, and after seeing this performance from Jalen Hurts with the 4 total touchdowns, where would you rank him among NFC quarterbacks?
Yeah, I would definitely rank him, honestly, amongst the quarterbacks in the NFC. It's kind of tough to not rank him number one, in my opinion. I would
Yeah,
say he's the best quarterback in the NFC.
yeah. Hard to argue with that. I know it's been an interesting season with that regards. And it's hard to put a rookie there. Jaden Daniels is having a great season, but it's hard to put a rookie there. So we'll just see if he can continue to prove it. But yeah, relatively quiet day for Saquon Barkley, only 14 carries for 66 yards. Generally, you see more flashiness out of him, but again, they didn't really need to use him all that much with how they were dominating the game. Huge day for AJ Brown, 5 catches and 109 yards. So he did his thing. Did what he needed to do there. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah,
yes,
that I mean, to me, it's just like, I mean, yeah, Cooper Rush. I mean, that's just kind of like, uh, yeah, 13 of 23 there. But really, I was really excited to see Trey Lance get an appearance. And what's your take
yeah.
on the Trey Lance story?
I mean, the way I see it is you kind of know what you have with Cooper Rush and you don't really know what you have with Trey Lance. I think I'd want to see Trey Lance get more run than what he's been getting since the injury. Cooper Rush is just the way I see it, he doesn't really have much of a future with the Cowboys. Maybe that's a bad take, and he can prove me wrong. And if he wants to do that, he'd be more than willing to, obviously. But Trey Lance, I think we just want to see what we have with him. 4 for
He literally got
621 yards.
he literally got injured in his first NFL start ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a crazy story with him because like he
Yeah,
was the starting quarterback for the 49ers, what, 2 seasons ago? And he gets injured in the very first game. And that was that for him.
yeah, very unfortunate. There for sure. So yeah, that was that for him.
Had he not got hurt, who knows what could have been the
Who
narrative
knows?
for the 49ers.
Yeah, and then maybe then the 49ers they'd have a dominant quarterback, which they don't have now. But anyways, moving forward, looking at the Philadelphia defense, they had a pretty solid day against a depleted Cowboys offense. Zach Bond had a big day with his 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. CJ Gardner Johnson, the 7 tackles, 1 interception as well, which was a key to really preventing the Cowboys from getting any momentum. And where would you rank CJ Gardner Johnson among safeties in the NFL?
You know, Tad, I'm really glad that you asked where I would rank CJ Gardner Johnson among safeties in the NFL. I mean, the fifth-year player out of Florida. I mean, literally a veteran, if nothing else, at this point as a safety. I mean, he's a middle of the pack safety.
A very interesting take there. Yeah, CJ Gardner Johnson, he's pretty solid. He does a good job. They have a solid backfield, a defensive backfield with him, Blankenship, of course, and then you got the 2 youngsters in DeJean and Mitchell. So they've been coming into their own, and I think we've seen a lot of.
What's your take on Cooper DeJean, the rookie out of Iowa?
Yeah, had a big fumble recovery. Yeah, we've just seen this defense grow, and continue to get better, and continue to prove that they're able to compete and they're able to play at a high level, and we'll just need to see that continue throughout the season and then into the playoffs. So,
but to be honest with you, Tad, you would like to see more out of what really was their big story in the draft, the rookie out of Toledo, Keenan Mitchell. I mean, 24 solo tackles, only 8 PDs. Just to be honest, you'd like to kind of see a bit more out of Mr. Mitchell there. Their high-level draft pick.
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, he's still coming into his own in a way, but he's also just like done a very good job of coverage. Like he doesn't see a lot of action because he does a good job of shutting down the receivers. So like they don't pass his way very often. That's kind of the way I see these stats. I mean, sure, you'd like to see some more productivity from the statistical perspective. You'd like to see an interception or two and perhaps even force some fumbles, but I think the Eagles are more than satisfied with what they're getting out of Quinion Mitchell.
Absolutely. Well, Eagles win 34-6 in this NFC rivalry. I don't really have any other final thoughts or takes unless you did.
Was a big defensive game for Damari and Overshawn for the Cowboys with his 2 sacks. Other than that, I think I don't have much else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
solid enough performance.
So looking at the Eagles, and who they'll be playing next, they play next Thursday night in a battle for first place at home against the Washington Commanders. So that'll be a big game for them.
That's actually tonight. But I mean, by the time this gets posted and everything, the game will probably already be in progress. And so yeah, but yeah, that's actually tonight. So that'll be a fun game of football to watch. So.
And then the Dallas Cowboys have a battle for Texas where they host the Houston Texans. That will be Monday Night Football, so that's what they have to look forward to. Another big challenge there. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and continue to follow the Gridiron Glory throughout the NFL season for our quality takes. Thanks for watching.